Half the travel trailers sold in America aren't built to last. They're built to sell. You save up, you find the one you love, you hit the highway, and picture sunsets at the campsite. Then the leaks start, the cabinets fall apart, the dealer stops answering. Nobody tells you this before you sign. It's not bad luck. It's the business model. Today, we're counting down 15 travel trailers only the dumbest buyers still line up for. Names you'll recognize instantly. One that might be sitting in your driveway right now. Let's expose them. Number 15. Riverside RV Retro. The retro trailer. That's retro on the outside, a headache on the inside. The Riverside RV Retro is one of those trailers that sells itself in the first 5 seconds. That vintage look, that shiny aluminum-style exterior, that nostalgic charm that makes it look like it rolled straight out of 1965. And that's exactly the problem. Riverside leaned so hard into style that construction quality took a back seat. Owners report soft spots in the flooring within the first couple of seasons, a sign that water is getting in somewhere it shouldn't. The window seals on these units are notorious for shrinking and cracking faster than they should, which means even a light rain can turn into a slow drip inside your cabinets. The retro-style furniture looks fantastic in photos, but it's built with cheaper hardware that loosens up fast, especially if you're towing on anything but smooth highway. Resale value is another problem. Because the retro is such a niche, style-driven purchase, the buyer pool shrinks fast once the shine wears off, and owners trying to sell often end up settling for way less than they expected. If the look is what's pulling you in, fine. But go in with your eyes open, because that vintage charm doesn't do a single thing to stop water intrusion. Number 14. Venture RV Sonic Lite. Light on weight, heavy on regret. Venture RV built the Sonic Lite to hit a very specific target. Ultra lightweight, towable by smaller SUVs and half-ton trucks, priced to move. And it does move. Off the lot fast, thanks to that price tag. But shaving weight off a travel trailer means shaving material off somewhere, and on the Sonic Lite, that somewhere is everywhere. The frame uses thinner gauge materials than comparable trailers in its class, and owners report frame flex on rough roads that you can actually feel through the hitch. The walls are thin enough that insulation is a joke. Try camping in anything below 40 degrees, and you'll understand real fast why people call these 3-season trailers at best. The slide-out mechanism, when equipped, is undersized for the load it's pulling, and seal failures around it are one of the most common complaints you'll find in owner forums. Add in flimsy cabinet latches that pop open on every bump in the road, and you've got a trailer that saves you money at the register and costs you money at the repair shop. Lightweight is a feature. Corner cutting disguised as lightweight is a trap. Number 13. Cruiser RV Hitch. Good on the spec sheet. Rough in real life. On paper, the Cruiser RV Hitch checks every box. Reasonable floor plans, decent storage, a price point that undercuts a lot of the competition. That's exactly why so many first-time buyers grab one without doing their homework. In practice, long-term owners tell a different story. The roof membrane on these units is thinner than industry standard, and once it starts to age, small punctures turn into leaks that spread through the ceiling before you even notice a stain. The plumbing system uses budget fittings that crack in freezing temperatures if you don't winterize perfectly, and a lot of first-time owners don't even know what winterizing means until they're standing over a flooded floor in March. Appliance quality is another sore spot. The furnace units installed in these trailers have a well-documented history of igniter failures, leaving people cold on trips they planned for months. And when you call Cruiser RV about warranty work, be ready to wait. Response times reported by owners stretch into months, not weeks. Good on paper doesn't mean good on the road, and the Hitch proves that every single time. Quick side note, most car problems come from small things people overlook. I put together a simple longevity guide based on everything I've learned, and it walks you through exactly what to watch for. It's linked in the description below. Number 12. Starcraft Autumn Ridge. A name you know, a reputation that's slipping. Starcraft has been around long enough that the name still carries weight with a lot of buyers, especially folks who remember the brand from decades back. The Autumn Ridge trades on that legacy hard. But legacy doesn't fix delamination, and that's exactly what's showing up on these units. Sidewalls bubbling and separating from the frame, usually within the first 3 to 5 years. Once delamination starts, there's no small fix. You're either living with it or paying thousands to have the wall replaced. The awning motors on the Autumn Ridge burn out at a rate that's way higher than it should be for a trailer at this price point, and the entry steps wobble loose faster than owners expect, turning a simple in and out into an accident waiting to happen. Customer service complaints echo across almost every owner forum you'll find. Slow callbacks, parts that take forever to ship, and dealers who shrug when you bring up a warranty claim. Starcraft's name still opens the door for a sale. It's what happens after the sale that should worry you. Number 11. Primetime Avenger. Cheap to buy, expensive to keep. The Primetime Avenger built its whole reputation on being the affordable option, the trailer that lets a young family or a first-time camper get into the lifestyle without a huge upfront cost. And it delivers on that promise right up until year 2, when the real bills start showing up. The tank sensors on these units fail early and often, leaving owners guessing whether their black tank is half full or about to overflow, and that's a guessing game nobody wants to lose at a crowded campground. The slide-out seals leak with enough regularity that it's practically a running joke in primetime owner groups online. Cabinet construction uses a lighter-grade particle board that swells and warps the moment it takes on any moisture, which, given the seal issues, doesn't take long at all. And the frustration doesn't stop with the trailer itself. Primetime's customer support has a reputation for being slow to respond and quick to blame the dealer instead of standing behind their own product. Affordable upfront should not mean expensive in frustration, but that's exactly the trade you're making with the Avenger. Number 10. Crossroads. Zinger Light. Budget-friendly. Until the repairs start. Crossroads markets the Zinger Light as the smart entry point into lightweight towing, and the price tag backs that up. But ask anyone who's owned one past the 2-year mark, and you'll hear a different pitch entirely. The roof on these units is a known weak point, thin membrane material that's prone to cracking around vents and skylights, and once it cracks, water finds its way in fast. Owners report finding soft, spongy spots in the roof, decking that indicate rot has already set in before any visible stain appears inside. The furnace and water heater combo installed in these trailers is undersized for the space it's heating, which means cold nights and long wait times for hot water, even in mild weather. Slide-out mechanisms bind up on uneven ground more than they should, sometimes requiring owners to physically force them in or out. And once you're past the factory warranty, replacement parts for Crossroads-specific components are surprisingly hard to track down, leaving a lot of owners improvising fixes that void whatever coverage they had left. Budget-friendly is a great pitch. It just doesn't hold up once the repair bills start rolling in. Number 9. Coachmen Catalina Summit Series, a respected name, one regretful lineup. Coachmen has built a real reputation in the RV world, and for good reason. A lot of their lineups genuinely hold up. But the Catalina Summit Series is the exception owners wish they'd known about before signing. This line was built to hit an aggressive price point, and the corners cut to get there show up fast. The cabinetry uses a thinner laminate that peels at the edges within the first year of regular use, especially in humid climates. Slide-out toppers, the little awnings meant to keep water off your slide-outs, fail early and often, which defeats the entire purpose of having them in the first place. Owners have reported water stains around the roof seams showing up well before the trailer hits its 3rd birthday, a clear sign that the sealing process at the factory wasn't up to Coachmen's usual standard. And because the Catalina Summit Series shares a name with more respected Coachmen lines, a lot of buyers assume they're getting the same build quality across the board. They're not. When a trusted name puts out one weak link, It's the buyers who pay for that mistake, not the company. Number 8. Gulfstream Ameri-Lite. Cutting costs in all the wrong places. Gulfstream built the Ameri-Lite to compete on price, and it does, right up until you start actually living in one. This is a trailer where the cost cutting isn't subtle. The subfloor uses a lighter material than most competitors, and it's known to sag under normal foot traffic within a couple of seasons, especially in high moisture climates. The plumbing runs use connectors that are prone to cracking in cold weather, and more than a few owners have opened up their trailer after a winter in storage to find a flooded floor and a very expensive lesson in proper winterization procedures. Electrical wiring in these units has been flagged by owners for loose connections straight from the factory, leading to flickering lights and outlets that stop working entirely within the first year. Even the exterior isn't safe. Decals and paint on the Ameri-Lite fade and peel noticeably faster than similar trailers, which tanks resale value the moment you try to sell. Gulfstream saved money building this trailer. The people who bought them are the ones actually paying for it. Number 7. Heartland Mallard. Popular doesn't mean reliable. The Heartland Mallard sells in huge numbers, and it's easy to see why. Attractive floor plans, a recognizable brand, and pricing that fits a lot of family budgets. But popularity is not the same thing as quality, and the Mallard proves that point again and again in owner reviews. The axles on these units are frequently undersized for the trailer's actual loaded weight, leading to premature tire wear and, in worse cases, axle bearing failures that leave people stranded on the side of the highway. The water heater bypass valve, a small but critical part for winterizing, is known to fail or stick on these trailers, which means a lot of unsuspecting owners end up with cracked lines they didn't even know were at risk. Interior trim pieces are attached with staples instead of proper fasteners in more places than they should be, and those staples work themselves loose with every mile of towing. And when it comes to warranty support, Heartland dealers are frequently overwhelmed, meaning parts and repairs for the Mallard specifically can take months to resolve. Selling well and holding up well are two very different things, and the Mallard only manages one of them. Number 6. Palomino Puma. Big features, bigger quality control problems. The Palomino Puma looks like a steal on the lot. Tons of features, residential-style furniture, a layout that feels bigger than the price tag suggests. The problem is consistency. Puma owners report a huge range of build quality even within the same model year, which means you could buy two identical Pumas off the same lot and get two completely different ownership experiences. Slide-out alignment issues are common enough that a noticeable chunk of owners report needing adjustments within the first year just to get the slide to seal properly. The furnace ductwork on some units is poorly routed, leading to uneven heating where one end of the trailer is toasty and the other is freezing. Awning fabric on the Puma has a reputation for tearing in moderate wind, well before it should given the price point. And because Palomino builds these at high volume to keep costs down, quality control simply isn't consistent enough to guarantee you're getting the good version of this trailer instead of the disappointing one. When the features are big, but the consistency isn't there, you're rolling the dice every time you buy one. All right, before we get to the top 5, and trust me, these last 5 are where it gets brutal, do me a favor. Hit that like button if you're learning something here, because it genuinely helps this channel grow. Drop a comment and tell me if you or someone you know got burned by one of these trailers. I read every single one of them. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and tap that notification bell so you don't miss the next video, because we've got a lot more of these coming. Now let's get into the 5 that really deserve the dumbest people title. Number 5. Dutchmen Aspen Trail, America's bestseller, America's biggest complaint list. The Dutchmen Aspen Trail sells like crazy, and that's exactly why its problems matter so much. More people are affected by them than almost any other trailer on this list. The slide-out seals on the Aspen Trail are a documented weak point, with water intrusion complaints showing up across multiple model years, not just one bad batch. Once water gets behind that slide, it's working its way into the wall structure, and by the time you notice, you're often looking at soft spots that require serious repair. The furnace on these units has a track record of igniter failures in cold weather, leaving families shivering on trips they planned around warm winter getaways. Cabinet hardware, hinges, latches, drawer slides, wears out faster than it should, a clear sign of corners cut to hit that aggressive sales price. And because Dutchmen produces the Aspen trail in such high volume, getting timely warranty service can be a struggle, since dealers are often swamped with the same complaints from dozens of other owners. Being a bestseller doesn't mean being the best. In the Aspen Trail's case, it just means more people found out the hard way. Number 4. Keystone Springdale, a household name with a very long complaint list. Keystone is one of the biggest names in the entire towable RV industry, and the Springdale rides on that reputation hard. It's affordable, it's everywhere, and it looks like a safe bet for a first-time buyer. But dig into owner forums and you'll find a surprisingly long list of recurring issues. Roof leaks are one of the most consistently reported problems, often starting around the air conditioner unit where the factory sealant doesn't hold up over time. The underbelly material, meant to protect plumbing and insulation from road debris, tears loose on rough roads more often than it should, exposing pipes to freezing temperatures they were never meant to face unprotected. Slide-out topper failures are common, leading to water pooling on top of the slide instead of running off, which eventually finds its way inside. And Keystone's customer service, while not the worst on this list, has a reputation for pointing owners back to the dealer for warranty issues that really should be handled directly by the manufacturer. A household name should mean household reliability. With the Springdale, it mostly just means a lot of households dealing with the same problems. Number 3. Forest River Salem Cruise Lite. Massive sales, matching complaints. Forest River moves an incredible number of Salem Cruise Lite units every single year, and that volume is a big part of the problem. Built fast, priced aggressively, and pushed through dealer lots by the thousands, quality control on this line has taken a backseat to sheer output. The number one complaint across owner communities is water intrusion around the roof vents and slide-out seals, an issue so common it's practically expected rather than surprising at this point. The subfloor materials used in the Cruise Lite are known to soften and sag when exposed to moisture, and given how common the leaks are, that's a recipe for expensive structural repairs down the line. Axle and suspension components are frequently undersized for the trailer's actual weight when fully loaded with gear, leading to premature wear and, in some cases, full axle failure on the road. Forest River's warranty process is notoriously slow, with owners reporting months-long waits for parts that should be simple replacements. When a trailer sells this many units, the sheer number of unhappy owners isn't a coincidence. It's a pattern, and it's one Forest River hasn't fixed. Number 2. Shasta Flyte, a legendary name riding on nostalgia. It can't back up. The Shasta name means something in American RV history. Vintage Shasta trailers with those iconic wings on the back are collector's items today, sought after and restored with love. The modern Shasta Flyte tries to cash in on that same legacy, and a lot of buyers fall for it, expecting the same craftsmanship that made the original name famous. What they get instead is a budget-built trailer wearing a legendary badge. Owners report thin wall construction that flexes noticeably on rough roads, a sign that structural rigidity took a back seat to keeping the weight and the price down. Slide-out mechanisms bind and misalign within the first year on a disturbing number of units, and once that happens, getting a proper seal against water and dust becomes nearly impossible. Interior finishes look sharp in the showroom but show wear, peeling laminate, loosening trim, faster than the price tag should allow. And because the Shasta name carries so much emotional weight, a lot of owners give the brand the benefit of the doubt long after the evidence says they shouldn't. Nostalgia sells trailers. It doesn't build them. Number 1. Coleman Lantern Series, the most recognizable name in travel trailers and the biggest disappointment. Here it is. The #1 dumbest travel trailer purchase you can make in 2026, and it's a name almost everyone recognizes. The Coleman Lantern Series. Built by Dutchmen but branded under the trusted Coleman name, this trailer leans entirely on a brand reputation built from camping stoves and coolers, not from decades of RV engineering. And that mismatch shows up everywhere. Build quality complaints on the Lantern Series are some of the most consistent you'll find in any RV owner community. Delamination on the exterior walls, slide-out seals that fail within the first 2 years, and cabinetry that loosens up so fast it's practically expected by the second camping season. The furnace and water heater units installed in these trailers have a well-documented history of failing in cold weather, leaving families stranded without heat on trips they'd planned for months. Warranty frustrations are where this really falls apart, though. Owners report submitting claims and waiting months for any response, only to be told the issue isn't covered or bounced back and forth between the dealer and the manufacturer with nobody taking responsibility. Long-term durability is the final nail. Units that looked great at 3 years old are falling apart at 5, well before they should be showing this kind of wear. The Coleman name gets people in the door. It's the Lantern Series itself that sends them running for the exit. If you remember nothing else from this list, remember this one. It's the name everyone trusts and the trailer almost nobody should buy. Remember how we started this video? Sunsets at the campsite, freedom on the open road, the dream you pictured when you first started shopping for a travel trailer? That dream is real. Plenty of people are living it right now. But every single trailer we just covered proves the same hard lesson. A recognizable name on the front doesn't guarantee what's holding it together on the inside. From thin roofs and failing seals to warranty departments that go silent the moment you actually need them, these 15 trailers turn the freedom of the open road into a part-time repair job. The dumbest mistake isn't liking a trailer, it's buying one without knowing what's really underneath that shiny exterior. And there you have it, 15 travel trailers that prove a low price tag and a familiar name don't mean a smart purchase. If this video just saved you from making a mistake, or if you've already lived through one of these on our list, let us know in the comments. We genuinely want to hear your story. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss one of these breakdowns. We've got another one coming up next that you are not going to want to miss, so check the video on your screen right now. Until next time, tow smart, camp smart, and we'll see you out there on the road.